الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قامت الصلاة قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله. الله
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. رب قد آتيتني من الملك وعلمتني من تأويل الأحاديث فاطر السماوات والأرض أنت وليي في الدنيا والآخرة توفني توفني مسلما وألحقني بالصالحين. ذلك من أنباء الغيب نوحيه إليك وما كنت لديهم إذ أجمعوا أمرهم وهم يمكرون. وما أكثر الناس ولو حرصت بمؤمنين وما تسألهم عليه من أجر إن هو إلا ذكر للعالمين. وكأي من آية في السماوات والأرض يمرون عليها وهم عنها معرضون وما يؤمن أكثرهم بالله إلا وهم مشركون. أفأمنوا أن تأتيهم غاشية من عذاب الله أو تأتيهم الساعة بغتة وهم لا يشعرون. قل هذه سبيلي أدعو إلى الله على بصيرة أنا ومن اتبعني وسبحان الله وما أنا من المشركين. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. أأنتم أشد خلقا أم السماء بناها رفع سمكها فسواها وأغطش ليلها وأخرج ضحاها والأرض بعد ذلك دحاها أخرج منها ماءها ومرعاها والجبال أرساها متاعا لكم ولأنعامكم. فإذا جاءت الطامة الكبرى يوم يتذكر الإنسان ما سعى وبرزت الجحيم لمن يرى. فأما من طغى وآثر الحياة الدنيا فإن الجحيم هي المأوى. وأما من خاف مقام ربه ونهى النفس عن الهوى فإن الجنة هي المأوى. يسألونك عن الساعة أيان مرساها فيم أنت من ذكراها إلى ربك منتهاها. إنما أنت منذر من يخشاها كأنهم يوم يرونها لم يلبثوا إلا عشية أو ضحاها. الله. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم. إن شاء الله بعد صلاة السنة نطول قصة القرآني. One of the stories of the Quran. Short, إن شاء الله we touch on it. Reflect on it بعد صلاة السنة. So be around. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على خير خلقه سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه ومن والاه واهتدى بهداه. نتقارب إن شاء الله. If you can come closer بإذن الله تعالى. If you want to lean against the wall, that's fine. But come close إن شاء الله. So the reward and mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will come on us. جزاكم الله خير. In a few minutes إن شاء الله عز وجل. أولا ما أسعدنا نحن المسلمون. How blessed we are Muslims بفضل الله عز وجل with the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This life is so short, and alhamdulillah ta'ala, in one day see how many opportunities of goodness we attend. We attend khutbatul jum'ah, we listen to the ayat from kitabillah, we pray. How many times we pray today? We do a lot of that. That's a lot of blessings, and here we are praying salatul isha in response to the ta'aleem of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lana, the guidance of Allah and Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He told us, he was praying like this, him and Abu Bakr and Umar and generations after them, and we are following in this direction. And here we are sitting to listen and learn from Quran. Allah ordered us to say the stories and reflect on those stories that we may think and reflect, and here we are doing that. So every now and then we need to remember that. We need to remember that. Just by the fact that you're coming to the masjid and leaving, كلما يعني غدا إلى المسجد أو راح أعد الله له نزلا كلما غدا. Every time you come to the masjid and go, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is preparing. Who is preparing? Allah Azza wa Jalla is preparing nuzulan. If you are, I remember when we go to Hajj and they say those are the guests of the king. They have such a special place, the king of Saudi Arabia. And some people, they go as guests of the king, and they really have a special place. Now, every time you come to the masjid, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is preparing for you a special nuzul, place for you in Jannah, a lot of reward, a lot of gifts, as well as the peace and tranquility and congregation being together in unity. So many good things. فما أسعدنا نحن بالإسلام. نسأل الله أن يديم علينا السعادة وأن يجمعنا في الجنة. May Allah gather us all in الجنة بفضله. آمين. قصة عجيبة، والقرآن فيه قصص أحسن القصص, the best of all stories. And it's not just a story for the sake of the story, but to reflect and to think and to take some of the lessons. And down in the history, more nations and more people would read the same story and they will take more and more of lessons. Surah An-Naml, the surah, the chapter of the ants. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us the example
Allah mentioned about حيوانات, animals, insects in the Quran, birds and so on. وقال في سورة الأنعام وما من دابة في الأرض ولا طائر يطير بجناحيه إلا أمم أمثالكم. أمم أمثال. A believer would think about that. There is not a single dabba is something that drops, that moves on earth. There is not a single kingdom of any creation on earth, not a bird that flies with its wings, unless they are nations just like you. They have the rules, the way of communication. Look at the ants that will start coming out now, and we are in Florida having all of these fire ants, and they bother us, but you could also reflect how, you know, they build and how they work and how, and the bees. Brother Basil is not here, but he can talk to us a lot about the honeybees, mashallah, beautiful nations like us. And here we are, we have the story of Sayyidina Sulaiman alayhi salam. I will talk mainly about Sayyidina Sulaiman alayhi salam مع ملكة Saba, Balqis, with the queen, prophet and king Sulaiman alayhi salam, with the queen of Saba, Sheba, Balqis. Her name was Balqis. And but before that, Sayyidina Sulaiman, Allah Azza wa Jalla gave him special powers, as we all know. سخرنا له الريح تجري بأمره رخاء حيث أصاب. Allah puts at his order the winds. It goes to whatever direction at his order, by his order. Go by his order. Go east, go west. Think about that. That's not easy. Al-jinn, the jinn, they work بأمره كل بناء وغواص. They build for him. They even go dive deep into the oceans and get things for him. الطير وحشر لسليمان جنوده من الإنس والجن والطير فهم يوزعون. Humans, jinn, birds, and all of them were there in rows, in lines. So many powers. Allah وأسلنا له عين القط وألنا له الحديد. He made things easy for him. He made it easy for him to shape and mold the iron and metals and so on. And now he is also capable of understanding and talking the language of animals. He understood as he was marching with his army. And then all of a sudden they heard, Sayyidina Sulaiman heard النملة. قالت نملة يا أيها النمل ادخلوا مساكنكم. One ant, as he was, Sayyidina Sulaiman marching, he heard this ant saying, speaking to her nation, to her people, ادخلوا, O ants, O nation of ants, get quickly, rush back to your piles or your place. لا يحتمنكم سليمان, otherwise you will be destroyed by the army of Sulaiman وجنوده and his soldiers. وهم لا يشعرون. They will not do that because they want to destroy you. No, she gave the excuse. They would destroy you not unaware of you because you're so small in comparison to them. Sayyidina Sulaiman heard النملة and he admired the mantiq, the way she's, you know, she was worried about her people. She didn't just rush herself quickly to the safe place, not not paying attention to the other fellows. Even though many humans nowadays, they would just care for themselves. They wouldn't care for their communities and their nations and their people. They would not do that. This ant did it. Soon after that, we move quickly to the amazing story of the bird, the hoopoe, al-hudhud. Is it right? Hoopoe? Right. Al-hudhud, this special bird with kind of crown with lines, brown, usually brown and gray, I guess. Al-hudhud. And al-hudhud, one day Sayyidina Sulaiman, he is the king, he has everything, but it's not the kind of king that's reclining and everybody is doing the work, and those people are, this kind of fancy stereotype of kings. He was not like this. He was following up and checking himself, the work in his kingdom. And one day he was checking on everybody. وحشر لسليمان جنود كذا وكذا وتفقد الطير. And now it was the turn for the birds. He was following. What did you do? What did you build? What did you? فقال ما لي لا أرى الهدهد. And one bird was missing, and he said, why? I can't see the hudhud, the bird. So see, Sayyidina Sulaiman, the good leader, and please, let's make it more of a discussion. You feel free to stop me at any time if you feel that there is a lesson in here that you learn or get or reflect on. So one lesson that we'll learn is a successful leader should be aware of everybody. If somebody is missing, And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to notice if somebody is not, in the soft, if somebody is not joining them, even in the battlefield. It's not only in prayer when 20, 50, 100 people are there. Even in the battlefield, he would say, I'm missing such and such. It happened a few times. I'm missing this person. So Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is aware of all the little details. Sayyidina Sulaiman is aware of the little bird that's missing. And then he didn't say why he is not here. First, he assumed that maybe I can't see him. So he asked the question, why can't I see the bird, the hudhud? أم كان من الغائبين, or maybe he is absent. That's the parade, that's the king. You should come and check in with him. And then he said, well, he is not here. لأعذبنه عذابا. There will be a punishment, great punishment for him. Otherwise, or unless he brings some proof why he was absent from that task or from that parade. Then after a while, he came back, al-hudhud, he came back, as the surah tells us, فقال فمكث غير بعيد فقال أحط بما لم تحط به. Al-hudhud is speaking. And it was a miracle. It was a miracle. This is the only surah that Allah mentioned about 3 animals that will speak, that will talk. One of them is the ant, the second is al-hudhud, the third is towards the end of the surah when Allah said وَإِذَا وَقَعَ الْقَوْلُ عَلَيْهِمْ أَخْرَجْنَا لَهُمْ دَابَّةً مِنَ الْأَرْضِ. Towards the end of the time, Allah will set out a dabba, or a creation or an animal from the earth that will speak to them, that will talk to them. So maybe Allah mentioned the story of the 2 animals that He made to speak, and Sayyidina Sulaiman was able to communicate with them, just to pave the way and to say that Allah is capable to do everything and anything. And that's why another animal will come at the end of the time. By the power of Allah, it will be able to speak, and everybody will be able to understand what this animal is saying. So قال أحطت, he said, I am now aware of something that you are not aware of. And then he started saying, he wanted to grab his attention. He didn't want to show off or anything, but just to grab the attention of Sayyidina Sulaiman alayhi salam. Listen, I have something that that you don't know about. Let me tell you what I have. And then he said, وَجِئْتُكَ مِنْ سَبَإٍ بِنَبَإٍ يَقِينٍ. I am coming to you with a certain piece of news in here from Saba, from the kingdom of Sheba, which was in Yemen. اليمن يعني كان لها تاريخ طويل وما زال نسأل الله عز وجل أن يحررها وسائر بلاد المسلمين ويحفظها وسائر بلاد المسلمين من كل سوء. May Allah protect Yemen. And may Allah protect all the Muslim countries and all Muslims wherever they are. So Al-Yemen was there. One of the kingdoms of Al-Yemen was Saba, and it was there. It looks like we know also elsewhere in Surah Saba, there is a surah by the name of Saba that they ended up having corruption and problems, and then Allah destroyed them. It looks like that was later. It was not in the time of this queen, because we will see in a while that it looks like Allah gave them everything and they were a successful nation, and then even the queen will accept Islam with Sayyidina Sulaiman later on. So the hudhud, the bird, told Sayyidina Sulaiman what he got. Inni wajadtu imra'atan tamlikuhum. The queen, I saw in charge of them a queen, a woman, queen on top of them. وَأُوتِيَتْ مِنْ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ, and they are given everything. They have resources, different resources. وَلَهَا عَرْشٌ عَظِيمٌ, and the most distinguished thing in this kingdom is her throne, great throne. But the problem is, he said, وَجَدْتُهَا وَقَوْمَهَا يَسْجُدُونَ لِلشَّمْسِ مِنْ دُونِ اللَّهِ. The problem is, I found them, her and her people, they used to worship and prostrate themselves to the sun besides Allah. And then he said, Al-Hudhud is giving the comment, أَلَّا يَسْجُدُوا لِلَّهِ الَّذِي يُخْرِجُ الْخَبْءَ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. If only they would make their sujood, they worship, prostrate themselves to Allah. هذا الهدهد يعني اهتم بأمر الدعوة ويحزن لأن طائفة وأقوام من الناس على الباطل ويعبدون غير الله. So this is a bird, but he cares that some people are there, they worship, they go their own way, they worship the planets, the stars. He said, if only they worship Allah alone, they prostrate themselves to Allah alone, الذي يخرج الخبء في السماء. And then he gives, Allah is the one who sits out and brings out al-khab, the hidden things, the plants and everything, في السماوات. It goes on, and Sayyidina Sulaiman, he said, well, we need to test that. قال سننظر أصدقت أم كنت من الكاذبين. We're going to test that and see if you are telling me the truth or something else. اذهب بكتابي هذا فألقي إليك. He wrote a letter and he said, go and drop this letter. there. SubhanAllah, the birds, Allah give them GPS. You're talking about Sayyidina Sulaiman, where was he located? Palestine, you're talking about Palestine. And then he sent him where? Yemen, which is around close to 2,000 miles, around 2,000 kilometers, a little bit less than 2,000 miles. That's a lot. That's it takes like a few hours in an aeroplane. But a bird can do that. We see the birds go all the way from Alaska and northern Canada down to the Latin America in the summer and the winter, back and forth. Some of them go to the same specific place. Some fish go to the same specific river to bond, to breed, and subhanAllah, they have this built-in GPS. So he sent him and he said, go all the way there, drop this book and see. Let's see what they will, how they will come back to us. He did. First, you can learn a lot. The Hudhud, how did he know that this is the queen and those are the people? He went over there and he had the bird view. And he knew this is the queen, what they are doing, they are worshiping like that, this is how they worship, this is their resources. He kind of got a full report to Sayyidina Sulaiman alayhi salam, and he went to them and he dropped this letter. And this lady, she got the letter. قالت, she started reading it. قالت أيها الملأ إني ألقي إلي كتاب كريم. Oh my people, I received a noble letter. Looks like a letter of the king from the way it was sealed, the seal in there, the way it's written. First, she did not, she could say, how could you, she never knew who dropped it, but she knew that it came all the way to her. Maybe somebody sneaked from the guards and got all the way to where she was sitting, and then she got this letter. So she did not say, let me first see how did this happen. She doesn't care about that. Let me see the content and then we can look at the other things. Many of us, we care sometimes for the superficial things, and we tend to ignore the content. Let's focus on the content of things, in the core of things, and then we can, al-qushur, the things that are really superficial, we should not pay so much, of our attention. Should not grab much of our attention, like the content itself. She focused in the content. Let's ignore that, and right away she knew that there is something. It's serious. She got all al-mala', all of her, al-wuzara wal-mustasharid, majlis shura, the people, ahl al-hall wal-aqd, the people who usually are, she is consulting with them. She looks like surrounding herself with the elite of the society, maybe the business people, maybe the smartest people, the closest people, the leaders, the ministers. She got everybody. And she said, now I got a novel book, letter from Sulaiman. It is from Sulaiman. It reads, إِنَّهُ مِن Sulaiman. It is from Sulaiman. وَإِنَّهُ بِسْمِ اللَّهِ الرَّحْمَنِ الرَّحِيمِ. And this is how it begins, in the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. And this is a surah that got two Bismillah, one in the beginning and one in the middle. أَلَّا تَعْلُوا عَلَيَّ وَأْتُونِي مُسْلِمِينَ. You should not rise above me or get arrogant, grow arrogant above me, and come in submission to me. So he introduced very quick, and subhanAllah, you see, there was almost the same form Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to send his letters to the kings at his time. Min Muhammad Rasulullah kada kada aslim taslim. The same content is, accept Islam and you will be safe and you will be liberated and all of that. Otherwise, you will get the punishment and you will get the sin of everybody under you. So it was a clear, decisive, serious letter from Sayyidina Sulaiman. Following it didn't have anything that's offensive or anything, but it was to the point. This is, God, and the Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Do not grow arrogant to the message of God. Like he's saying, I'm prophet and this is the message of God. Come and submit yourself to Allah. وَأْتُونِي مُسْلِمِينَ. You could imagine if any king who has a big kingdom and he receives something like this, what could be the reaction? 99% or over 90% is going to be, he's going to get furious, and how could anybody speak to me like this, even if he's a king of another kingdom? And then yatish wa yatasarra, and he could take so many hasty actions. But this queen was such an exemplary, showed an exemplary reaction. She got everybody, people of Ashura, and she knew it's serious. She said, قالت يا أيها الملأ أفتوني في أمري. Now you listen to what's in the letter. أفتوني, give me fatwa. What do you think? What's your opinion? أفتوني في أمري ما كنت قاطعة أمرا حتى تشهدون. I was not about to say to decide anything without consulting with you until you witness and until you give me your inputs into that. What do you think? So this is a queen that always, it's kind of democracy in there, or shura. مَشْتَوْرَ قَوْمٌ. No people will practice shura unless they will be guided to the truth. That's why it was a successful kingdom at this time. So she always, before she makes any decision, the important decisions, she will get those people and consult with them. We need to do that as Muslims, as at the level of countries and states, and at the level of our organizations, at the level of our families. Let's, practice this shura, like Balqis alayhi salam. She was doing that even before, out of hikmah. She was not Muslim then. She worshipped the sun, but she was practicing the good thing. They said, and in return, look at her people. They respect her so much. They said, قالوا نحن أولو قوة وأولو بأس شديد والأمر إليك. We are so strong and we have a lot of power. But the final decision is yours. فانظري ماذا تأمرين. See, what do you think? We are at your service. They showed الطاعة, the full obedience to her. يعني there is no system. There is no system that would work without that, without those 2 points. Without the leader, dictatorship is not gonna go forever. It's not gonna work for a long time. It might go for a while, but resentment is gonna come from people because that's their own life, that's their own affair. They would not accept forever someone to just dictate on them. It might work for a while, but it will come to an end. She used to not lead by dictatorship, but by shura. And in return, you see her people, those people who are close to her, they love her so much. They said, we are at your service. We obey you. Without disobedience, after we have the shura and everything, now let's natawakkal ala Allah. The leader is there. We have leaders. We have positions. Without respecting this, no system will work. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from the very beginning, the very small system institution of house, Allah assigned somebody to be in charge. الرجال قوامون. You are in charge, and that will equal responsibility with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Any organization, there should be one leader or one body to lead. But conflict of interest and stuff, it's not going to lead to anything. Then they said, let's decide together. Let's see, we have power. Whatever you decide, we go by it. She came up with a very smart idea. She said, well, inni mursilatun ilayhim bihadi. That's what I'm thinking. I'm going to send a gift to them just to test if he is a true prophet or not. If he is a true prophet, or somebody who is after money, maybe he's somebody who is admiring this kingdom and he's trying to get some money, or even if he is a prophet or a king who is trying to invade us, well, al-hadiyya la maf'ul al-sihr. When you give gift to somebody, let's practice this. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam يقول تهادوا تحابوا كما جاء في الحديث. Exchange gifts and love will be associated with that. So if you have something with somebody, just imagine, and then you give him a gift, or he gives you a gift. I think you will forget a lot, especially if it's a nice gift. Now she is saying, well, he is showing some kind of hostility against us, or speaking in a strong language. Now we will test if he's somebody who's looking for money. We give him a good gift, and he's, let's get rid of him without bothering to send anybody to. We don't know. So we have to be more political in here, more wise in here, diplomatic in here. And if he is a strong person and he can, to attack us or anything, maybe he will change his view when we see that we are sending a gift and everything. And it works. This person, and at the same time, she also thought, when I send somebody to him, I will get an idea how strong, how big is his kingdom, how big is his army. I will see closely how they look like. The person came to the Sayyidina Sulaiman alayhi salam, and then he said, قَالَ أَتُمِدُّونَنِي بِمَالٍ. You're trying to give me some money? What are you trying to do? Like, many times money, is used to make somebody, to keep him silent from the truth, from saying the truth or anything. When you bribe someone, give him money or something to stop. No, he said, no, that's not what I'm after. Sayyidina Sulaiman knew ahead of time that somebody is coming with a gift, and he prepared himself. He prepared all of his army and his people, and he prepared the food for them, such a thing that you could never ever even imagine. what kinds of food were there. When you read in the tafsir, he got some meat and some food that nobody ever heard about it or witnessed it or tasted. Every kind of thing was there. When those people came and they saw his army involves not only humans but jinn are there, wild beasts are there, tigers, lions. What is that? This is something they have never seen. Now they started seeing she sent a gift in terms of gold. There was a lot of gold and stuff. But when they looked at how Sayyidina Sulaiman, when they first started eating, the people who served them, they were having some golden clothes and gold everywhere, much more than even what their queen got. So they kind of belittled the gift that they are bringing to him. They said, well, in comparison to that, we are nothing. But they give him the gift at the end, and then he told them, no, you're offering me money or gifts, doesn't work with me. And then you will see, ارجع إليهم فلنأتينهم بجنود لا قبل لهم بها. Go back, we're going to send you soldiers that you will never, you have no power to resist or to stand. And before that happened, Sayyidina Sulaiman knew from the way she behaved that she sent a gift and she accepted the letter. She did not reply or react in any furious way. He knew that she will come somehow. So he said, أيكم يأتيني بعرشها قبل أن يأتوني مسلمين. He knew before they come to me in full submission, I want to just throw the last stone and finish it. Who can make this wonderful thing by bringing me her throne here before they come? قال عفريت من الجن. We know that al-jinn, they work at his service. He said, أنا آتيك به قبل أن تقوم من مقامك. I have the power to bring this throne to you before you end this session. Before you stand up and like in a few minutes, before you end this session, it should be here. He said, no. Sayyidina Sulaiman is looking for something even. قال الذي عنده علم من الكتاب أنا آتيك به قبل أن يرتد إليك طرفك. The one who got knowledge of the book. What kind of knowledge he got? Knowledge of God, knowledge of science. Somebody got knowledge from the book in there. He said, I can bring it to you even before you blink. Your eye blinks, which is what? Like, كم الرمشة يستغرق كم يا شيخ طارق? Blinks. How many times? I mean, it takes just a fraction of a second. Speed of light, not the speed of light, less than that.
Wherever the man healing that.
طيب ماشي خلاص. Speed of light. خلاص speed of light. We have people of physics and دكاترة العيون ما شاء الله, and everybody's here. So before your eye blinks, قبل أن يرتد إليك طرفك. That's all you need, and it will be here. And أهل التفسير يقولوا قد علم اسم الله الأعظم. He used the greatest name of Allah, that when he uses it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is the power of Allah, can do anything to him, whatever. Allah did not say that, but it happens. Before Sayyidina Sulaiman, even his eye blinks, the arsh, the throne of this queen was there. فلما رآه مستقرا عنده قال هذا من فضل ربي. You can imagine somebody got all of this power. يعني sometimes when we make a little bit more money, or we get a position, or we are elected somehow, any authority, any position, it really affects us. We're human. We're humans. You now can do. You have more power to do things now. Let's imagine you are now in the Congress, or you are a president of some country. This is somebody who got everything. If you want to get the throne of another queen from another kingdom, a different kingdom, he got the power to have it before your eye blinks. And he said all of that. He was shakir. عابد لله غني وملك ونبي وكذا ومن الشاكرين. He was amongst the grateful. He said, this is all from the grace and bounties of Allah, because it's a favor from Allah to test me, to see if I'm going to be ashkur or I'm akfur, to see if I'm going to give thanks or I'm going to deny and reject all of that. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us ni'mah, the ibadah of this time is to thank Allah, is to say this is all from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is fadlullah tabarak. Whatever ni'mah, feel the ni'mah of Allah. It's one form of ibadah. أما بنعمة ربك فحدث. Know it, recognize it, and then make it known as well. So قال ومن شكر فإنما يشكر نفسه ومن كفر فإن ربي غني حميد. قال نكروا لها عرشها. He said, let's make a little bit of modification in there to see if she's gonna recognize it. He wants to test if she is smart enough, or she's what kind of queen is it? Would she recognize it with some little modification? And it happened when she came. قيل هكذا عرشك قالت كأنه هو. He said, does this look like your throne or something? She said, it looks like my throne. She didn't say it's mine, or no, my throne is there untouchable. She said, it looks like my كأنه هو. It's just exactly like it. So the story goes on. Sayyidina Sulaiman showed her how how advanced and developed his place was. He built his palace in such a way that you enter the palace and you have the floor is kind of transparent. Water is under there, the ocean. You know, fish are there, and you're just walking. You think it's water, but it's not water. It's on top of it. There's glass, and she saw that. She didn't recognize that it's glass. She thought it's water, and she was trying to take a little bit of her clothes so she will not get wet in the water. قال إنه صرح ممرد من قوارير. He said, no, don't worry. You don't have to do that. It's just all glass thing. قالت رب إني ظلمت نفسي. Obviously, you can see that Sayyidina Sulaiman, from the beginning, he sent in the message that Islam is like that quickly, and then probably he showed her that all of that is because of our faith and from Allah, and he's a prophet. He gave her the da'wah, and on the spot she accepted it. قالت رب إني ظلمت نفسي. I wronged myself. I was all of that. I was going the wrong way. Me and my people worshipping the stones and stars and everything. وأسلمت مع سليمان لله رب العالمين. Now and submit with Sulaiman to Allah, the Lord of the worlds. And the story ends here. Whether he got married to her or not, we don't really know that for sure, but maybe he got married to her, Sayyidina Sulaiman. But this is not the point. Point is, here is so many lessons that we can learn, as we touched on some of them as we speak. Do we have more lessons that we get or reflect on as we are reading this story?
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made the protocol deliver a message to the came to him. Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying to the man, see this girl and see whatever you are, and you have the knowledge and you have all this power and all this jinn working for you. You know, you didn't know about this kingdom, and this small girl knew about it. So the same with here it is someone who is always knowledgeable than
فوق كل ذي علم.
And the second one is subhanAllah, the brain or the aql will never be the cause of the guidance of any human being. And we know that we see that scientists or philosophers or most things, the people, they can worship, idols, they can worship cows, they can worship rats. And here it is, the story tells about how she was a wise queen, how the people of her kingdom was also wise, and but I don't know, to bring them to anything but sending them to worshiping the sun and the day from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The brain will take you, and the end will take you
nowhere. Allah يهدي من يشاء. So guidance is there. Yes, al-aql is one of the ways to get guidance, but it's not the ultimate way. Otherwise, why would Allah send prophets and messengers? Guidance is mainly and solely from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if we use our minds and our hearts the right way, Allah would not deprive us or prevent us guidance. But if we depend mainly and solely on our minds, then it's going to take us everywhere, but not necessarily to the right way. And the first lesson is beautiful. I like it. It's Sayyidina Sulaiman. He knows everything, and he got jinn working for him and this and that. Yet a little bird got a piece of news and ilm that he didn't know about. Little small bird. So we need to humble ourselves You never know. Maybe somebody's what he got is beneficial for you. He could get what you really need. Never, think that you got to the, the top, and not nobody else is there. Anything else? تفضل يا شيخ. How many? Okay.
3,000 miles or 2,000 miles. It's like 2,000 kilometers.
Okay.
But in addition to that, I cannot really, I'm making the analogy to what we have now. It's hard relative to the field.
Sayyidina Sulaiman, you mean?
That's hard. I'm going to have to young what it's hard.
From the same species of humanity. نعم. ما هو كان فيها سبع sheep was there, and also هذه قوم سبأ الذين لقد كان لسبع في مسكنهم آية جنتان وقالوا ربنا باعد بين أسفارنا في كل مكان. There is no such a place that everybody there is good, or another place that everybody there is bad. It's not here. That's in Jannah. Jannah, everybody there is good. Hellfire, everybody there is bad. But in dunya, you see everywhere. And every nation, by the way, every nation, go to Egypt, they will say, we are the mother of the land, and everybody is speak. Go to Pakistan, I don't know what do they say, but I'm sure that they say we are there, we have everything. Go to any country, in every place, there is the good people, the bad people. Yes, definitely, for every country, for every place, there is something special about them. But there is no such a place that everybody is good, everybody is good. But in Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, what we got for Yemen is really special. In very authentic hadith, al-iman yaman wal-hikmatu yamaniyya. Part of that is, you could think, subhanAllah, we're talking about whole Islamic countries, biggest of Islamic countries. All of these countries accepted Islam because of Yemeni merchants. You're talking about the Philippines, the Indonesia, Malaysia, and many countries in West and East Africa. All of these nations accepted Islam because of Yemeni da'iyah, Yemeni people who went to them over there. So this is something special about Yemeni people. They are soft. قلوبهم رقاء القلوب كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. They have soft hearts and so on. فيعرف لهم فضلهم يعني كما للمصريين والسوريين وغيرهم يعني.
To make a joke about it. From my experience, when I was a little boy, I was having the donkey, and it was the land where I delivered the water. I didn't know what to do. I told the donkey, go and find it yourself. And he let me to where my land, my dad. And I know, subhanAllah, I mean, they have the ability.
The built-in GPS.
I mean, subhanAllah, the ability to remember maybe human beings. They say, oh, I'm smart. One time I make a joke, I tell them, Syria, oh, by a donkey will be better off when we went to the moon. I mean, the donkey take it to where when you get close to your land or to where the place is.
So maybe you can have this donkey as the in place of this bigger donkey in there. Because at least it knows where it should go. نعم. Nations like you, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said. طيب let's make quick dua إن شاء الله. I don't want to prolong it. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا إنك أنت الغفور الرحيم. اللهم آتنا الحكمة يا رب العالمين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما يا رب العالمين. Give us the knowledge, give us the guidance, and give us the direction يا أرحم الراحمين. وصلي وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه. جزاكم الله خيرا.